Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Good to be back talking mental health related topics. And today, I wanted to talk about kind of finding your flow. I posted about it on my Instagram. What I mean by finding your flow? Well, we need to be doing more of the things that we are so in the moment, where we are so engaged with what we're doing that we forget about absolutely everything around us. And a lot of people, why they get into fitness, is because that is where they find their mental state of flow because they're so involved in the workout, whether that's doing a HIIT workout where they're just trying to get to that rest point, and not drop to the floor, to challenge themselves or to just get through the workout, or in a strength workout, trying to lift a certain amount of weight. You're in the moment, focusing on your form, tempo, you're in your zone with your music, even a yoga flow, when you're focusing on your body position, trying to be present in the moment in your mind. All of these things is when we're in such a state of flow, completely engaged in the moment, that it's so powerful because we forget absolutely everything around us. And in a time now more than ever, that's so important. During COVID, our mental health is a lot more frail because there's a lot more uncertainty. Obviously, so many people lost their jobs. So many people have been on furlough, so they're getting less money. Problems all relative. Everyone's going through their own challenges. So it's all well to sit here, and say some of us have it really hard because in the grand scheme of things, we don't. Circumstantially, it is very difficult. But even so, our problems are all relative. So within our current kind of environment, how we can help ourselves. And COVID's had a real impact on our mental health because, you know, like I said in the previous one, we feel like we're changing, or we feel like, we just ruminate more about the negative things. And because of that, ruminating more about the negative things, we take our focus away from the positive and we focus more on the negative. And our brains are wired to focus more on the negative. If you think of all the things that, about you, you focus more kind of sometimes on what you're not good at. And, you think of embarrassing moments, things you've done in the past which have been wrong, instead of, your progress and where you've been. And because we're wired to focus more on the negative, we need to find more things that help us focus on the positive more. We need to train our mind to help us focus on the positive more. So finding exercises or things to do, activities where we're so engaged in the moment, in that complete state of flow, is so important to hold on to. And there are a couple of things, they might work for different people. Everyone has different things that they find their complete flow in. For me personally, exercise, obviously training. Exercise is a little bit different because for me, training is when you train with intensity and a purpose, whereas exercise is like going for a walk, going for a little run. And don't get me wrong, running is amazing and you always feel better for it. But I always find with running, if you're just kind of like jogging, you can still like be in your thoughts about kind of what work's going on, what emails you need to catch up on, and with what's going on at the moment. You sometimes find it hard to switch off. So for me, I prefer to differentiate exercise and training. Although exercise is amazing anyway, and it's all got its mental health benefits. But training with that serious intent, with that serious focus, that's where I find my complete flow. And also another one, cooking. And on a Friday and Saturday night, I'll put on some lovely music in the background and I'll start cooking. And I'll just challenge myself and cook maybe something different. Sometimes the same, but putting my own twist on it. But I'm so focused on following the recipe, trying to get it right, that I just forget about absolutely anything else. Doesn't matter what could be going on. I'm just in the moment cooking, and that's what I get complete joy from. Another one would be once get into a really good book. Everyone can relate to this. Once you get stuck into a good book, you're so in the story, or maybe not in the story if you're non-fiction, but you're so like engaged in the concepts and the ideas of what the author's saying that you just forget everything around you. So for me, they would be like kind of like the main three things that I'm so engaged in the moment, enjoying the moment, forgetting absolutely everything around me. And I think we need to grab onto these things like no tomorrow, even more so right now, because we tend to focus more on the negative now more than ever during COVID. We're wired to worry about death rates, when's lockdown going to end, how incompetent we feel the government might deal with it. We might not agree with what they've done, but we just get more worked up every single day. And then if you're always watching the news, Obviously, the news is never going to be kind of, oh, everything's amazing, all is great. It's just going to straight shift your focus away from the positive towards the negative. So once we find these things when we're in a complete state of flow, we have to grab onto them more. We've got to realise what they are. And actually, if we feel like we don't have enough, then it's a great time to experiment. It's not like, oh, I don't have enough. We can experiment. We can always find and try new things. So find our state of flow. Find that those activities, things you like to do, where you're so engaged in the moment, in the now, you completely forget about everything else around you. That is really powerful for your mental health. I can't express that enough, because sometimes we just sit on our beds, we look through social media and we compare ourselves to other people, and we think, oh God, maybe I'm productive. We're realising we're in that moment, I'm not being productive, blah, blah, blah. Your mind just goes on everything that's negative, that's wrong, what's going on with you, why to think negatively. So how we can shift that to going to a positive straight away. Go and train if you haven't trained today. Go and find your thing that you can be engaged in the moment. Get stuck into that bit. Maybe meditate. If you can really nail meditation, go into meditation. Just do something to take you out of the moment. And sometimes it's hard to take action. But now more than ever, we need to just train ourselves to do it. Because the more you train yourself to do something when you don't want to do it, just like with everything, you'll get better at doing it, and then it will become instinctive. So find our flow, ladies and gents, to really benefit and help your mental health. I hope that really does make sense. Just finding things where you're so engaged in the moment, you forget about all the chaos that's going on around us in this crazy world right now. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching this. Hope that makes sense, and until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.